This was the moment reality TV changed forever. Not slowly, not quietly, but in a way that left no room for denial. The Kody Brown era didn't fade out. It ended. The scene looks harmless at first. It's the final stretch of Janelle's wedding reception. The room feels lighter than anything we've seen in this family for years. Glasses are raised. Laughter fills the air. TLC cameras are rolling, capturing something rare, peace. Then the lights go out. Not dim. Off. People expect a sweet slideshow. Memories. Romance. Closure. Instead, a massive screen drops from the ceiling. The TLC logo flashes. And then, shock. What plays next is not another season of Sister Wives. It's a fast, dramatic trailer for a brand new series. No Kody. No Robyn. No rules. Just one title burning across the screen. Life after polygamy. The room freezes for half a second, then explodes. People stand up. Applause crashes through the venue. Some guests cry. Others laugh in disbelief. Because everyone understands exactly what this means. This isn't a spin-off. It's a replacement. And while Janelle is being celebrated inside that room, something far darker is unfolding miles away in Flagstaff. As Janelle and her new husband drive away from the venue, a process server is quietly taping a legal notice to the gate of Coyote Pass. A notice of default. That timing isn't poetic. It's brutal. This is the story of how a wedding didn't just mark a new beginning, it marked the collapse of an empire. Welcome back to Coco Gossip. If you're here because you're tired of watching women be blamed for a man's failures, hit like right now. Because this story, it's everything fans have been waiting for. Sources inside the reception say the energy wasn't just joyful, it was defiant. This didn't feel like a wedding. It felt like a release. No divided tables. No tension. No walking on eggshells. Just people finally breathing. Then the trailer starts. The first shot shows Janelle and Christine together, laughing on open water. No stress. No performance. Just freedom. A voice cuts in calmly. The sisterhood survived, even when the marriage didn't. Then the title again. Life after polygamy. Coming soon. The applause lasts minutes. And what isn't shown matters more than what is. No Kody. No Robyn. No McMansion. No control. This was TLC drawing a line. Production insiders confirm what fans suspected. This wedding doubled as a secret test run. A backdoor pilot. And the reaction sealed the deal. Executives didn't need focus groups. They had the room. They've watched the comments shift. Viewers are exhausted by rage, manipulation, and hypocrisy. The audience doesn't want misery anymore. They want victory. Now here's where it turns devastating for Kody. He isn't just missing from the show. He's missing from the money. No contract. No check. For nearly 2 decades, Sister Wives funded his lifestyle. Properties. Vehicles. Control. And now, nothing. We're hearing TLC offered him a reduced role. Paper appearance. No creative control. He refused. The network walked. They didn't need a villain anymore. They needed women who survived one. The internet reacted instantly once word leaked. Social media erupted. People celebrated. One comment summed it up perfectly. He wanted to be the center of attention. Now he's the center of unemployment. And the cruelest part? Kody didn't even see it coming. He thought skipping the wedding would punish Janelle. He believed the cameras were just there for a special. Instead, his absence made the show work. Without him, the story finally breathed. Now let's talk about the fallout. While fans were celebrating online, the bank was done waiting. A notice of default means the grace period is over. Payments missed. Patience gone. Coyote Pass, the symbol of Kody's grand vision, is now debt without a future. That land was held together by multiple incomes. Christine left. Janelle left. Mary left. The structure collapsed. And here's the rumor sending shockwaves through Flagstaff. There may already be buyers lining up. And one name keeps surfacing. Janelle's new husband. If that happens, it wouldn't just be ironic. It would be final. The land Kody lost, owned by the man who replaced him. But the most powerful moment of the night didn't involve money or contracts. It involved a name. Toward the end of the reception, cameras moved in close as Janelle sat down quietly. She opened her phone. Social media pulled up on the screen. And with one tap, the name Brown disappeared. Gone. Cheers erupted. This wasn't cosmetic. It was identity. Christine dropped the name. Now Janelle has two. The dynasty Kody dreamed of is being dismantled piece by the women who built it. Insiders say this wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. Dropping the name cuts legal ties, branding ties, and financial leverage. New name, new show, new power. Meanwhile, back at the McMansion, everything is unraveling. Neighbors report yelling late into the night. Not anger, panic. A man realizing the story is moving on without him. While that house shrinks, Janelle expands. The final image is unforgettable. She and her husband step into a vintage convertible. Top down. Night air rushing past. She doesn't speak. She smiles. She waves. Later, her voice plays softly over the scene. I spent years shrinking myself. I thought sacrifice was love. But love isn't about disappearing. It's about growing. Cut to black. Then one last shot. The gate at Coyote Pass. A padlock clicks shut. One life opening point, one empire closing. This isn't gossip. This is consequence. And this story? It's only just beginning. The end of the Kody Brown era didn't come with a whisper. It came with a bang. Janelle's wedding reception was in full swing. Champagne flowing, laughter echoing, TLC cameras capturing every radiant smile. But then the lights went out. A massive screen descended, and the crowd froze, expecting a montage. Instead, the screen came alive with a trailer. Not for sister wives. Not for Kody. This was a new story, a new show, a new world, life after polygamy. Kody and Robyn were nowhere to be seen. As Janelle drove away with her new husband, a process server quietly taped a notice of default to the gate at Coyote Pass. While one empire rose, another crumbled. This wedding wasn't just a celebration, it was liberation. For years, Janelle had been confined to a role dictated by Kody, bound by rules and submission. Now, unity and joy replaced tension. The trailer revealed a freedom the sisters had never tasted. Janelle and Christine laughing on a boat, the voiceover declaring, "The sisterhood survived even when the marriage died." The audience erupted, cheering a standing ovation that lasted minutes. Kody's era was over, and the network made it official. Backstage, the reaction was electric. Kody had been offered a cameo role, a mere guest appearance, but he demanded full control and his usual paycheck. The network didn't blink, they cut him out entirely. The fans went wild online, celebrating the patriarchy's downfall and the rise of women who finally controlled their own narrative. Janelle's wedding was more than a ceremony, it was the pilot episode, and the audience had already approved. Meanwhile, the financial reality hit hard. With Kody gone from the spin-off, the main budget shifted. Janelle and Christine were now the headliners, stepping into the spotlight with contracts and paychecks that matched their worth. Kody, once the master of resources, was left with debt, foreclosure, and a crumbling empire. The Coyote Pass property, once his dream gathering spot, was now a ticking financial time bomb. The children's presence at the wedding added another layer. Freed from the pressure of loyalty to their father, their smiles were genuine, unburdened, relieved. The next generation witnessed independence and resilience in action, a break from the trauma that had shadowed their upbringing. Kody's absence didn't ruin the story, it became the story. Janelle didn't just leave Kody behind, she erased him. Her name change during the ceremony, captured on camera, was a declaration. She was no longer property, no longer tied to the Brown legacy. It was a digital and symbolic divorce, a public severance that signaled empowerment, freedom, and a new beginning. Meanwhile, Robyn was left holding a name now associated with loss and collapse. Kody had claimed control through legal ties and assets, but in reality, he had lost both. The night ended with a cinematic flourish, Janelle driving away in a vintage convertible, top down, smiling confidently at the camera. The old life faded behind her. The new life awaited. Her final voiceover summed it up. "I spent 30 years trying to fit into a box that was too small for me. I am just Janelle. And my life is just beginning." As one empire rose in joy, another fell into silence. The foreclosure notice at Coyote Pass marked the end of Kody's control, a poetic punctuation to decades of dominance, manipulation, and entitlement. This wasn't just a wedding. It was a reckoning. It was the rise of women who had survived, thrived, and reclaimed their power. It was the beginning of a new chapter, glamorous, independent, unstoppable. And for Kody, it was the stark reality of irrelevance. No screen time, no empire, just debt and isolation. The era of sister wives was gone. The era of the ex-wives club had arrived, and the glow-up was real. While Janelle was celebrating her freedom and new life, the reality of Kody's collapse was hitting hard back at Coyote Pass. The notice of default taped to the gate wasn't just paper. It was the final verdict on everything he thought he controlled. For years, Kody had relied on the collective income of his wives to fund his lifestyle. Now, with Janelle, Christine, and Mary gone, the house of cards had fallen. No loans, no income, no show money, just a barren property and a looming auction. Inside the McMansion, chaos reigned. Lights blazed late into the night as Kody screamed into the void, blaming everyone but himself. Robyn scrambled, trying to salvage control, yet the walls of the house seemed to close in. Every expensive car, every piece of jewelry, every unsold sister wives merch item was suddenly meaningless. The empire he built on manipulation and entitlement was crumbling around him, and he had no one left to rescue him. Meanwhile, across town, the wedding had shifted into its most emotional moment. Janelle signed not just a marriage certificate, but her independence. Her social media handles, once tied to the Brown brand, were updated in real time. She erased the Brown name. The public cheer that erupted was symbolic. She had claimed her identity, her brand, her life. No longer defined by Kody, she was now her own headline. Every follower, every fan, every child at the wedding witnessed this declaration. It wasn't just a name change, it was a power move, a legal shield, and a symbolic declaration of liberation all at once. Back at Coyote Pass, whispers of auction rumors spread like wildfire. Insiders suggested that Janelle's new husband might even purchase the property, a poetic twist if true. Kody would lose the land he dreamed of controlling while watching the man who replaced him claim it. The symbolism was not lost on anyone following the drama. Every hedge, every plot of prairie dog-ridden soil, every failed blueprint of a mansion now represented his downfall. The kids at the wedding were another focal point. Years of tension, loyalty tests, and emotional manipulation were gone in an instant. Gabriel and Garrison laughed without fear of reprimand, the girls hugged freely, and the younger ones danced without the shadow of Kody looming over them. For the first time, the next generation of the Brown family was thriving in a space defined by love, not fear. The emotional weight lifted visibly from their faces, relief, happiness, and the chance to grow without constraint. Janelle's car pulling away in the vintage convertible wasn't just cinematic flair, it was a metaphor. Every mile she drove away from Flagstaff was a mile away from manipulation, debt, and control. The wind in her hair, the camera catching her confident smile, every flash of the convertible symbolized freedom and a fresh start. The voiceover she recorded later sealed it. 30 years of shrinking herself, of sacrificing, of being silenced, were gone. Now, she was Janelle, her own person, her own headline, her own story. Kody's meltdown was the counterpoint. Reports suggest he was screaming at Robyn, at imaginary conspiracies, at the unfairness of it all. He couldn't comprehend that Janelle's happiness wasn't a personal attack, it was the triumph of autonomy. The foreclosure at Coyote Pass mirrored his inner collapse, a tangible manifestation of his obsession with control. Every unpaid bill, every empty plot of land, every failed negotiation was a reminder that the world had moved on without him. Meanwhile, the network's strategy was flawless. By dropping the trailer at the wedding, they capitalized on fan goodwill, ensured maximum publicity, and completely controlled the narrative. Kody had no opportunity to spin the story. The audience, fully aligned with the women, celebrated liberation over patriarchy. Social media exploded. Fans cheered the ex-wife's triumphs and mocked the downfall of the patriarch. Kody's era was finished. The legal, financial, and emotional threads converged. Janelle secured her future with a multi-season contract. Christine thrived alongside her. Mary's potential recurring role promised further narrative gold. Kody, stripped of control, money, and relevance, faced a bleak horizon. The contrast couldn't be starker. One empire rising in love and autonomy, another collapsing under the weight of greed and control. By the end of the night, the wedding and the foreclosure told a single story. Liberation comes with courage, and control without respect collapses inevitably. The ex-wives were empowered, independent, and ready to build new legacies. Kody was left with lessons paid in cash, pride, and land. And as Janelle's convertible disappeared into the night, the message was clear. The era of the sister wives was over. The era of the ex-wives club, freedom, and empowerment had begun. The glow-up was real, and everyone watching was ready to celebrate. After the dust settled from the wedding and the foreclosure notice, the focus shifted to the real aftermath. The spin-off life after polygamy was no longer just a concept, it was a reality, and Janelle, Christine, and potentially Mary were the stars. Production insiders report that the first episodes are already packed with travel, business ventures, and candid moments of healing. The audience will witness everything from therapy sessions to boardroom meetings to carefree vacations, all completely free from Kody's controlling shadow. Meanwhile, Kody's attempts to regain control have reportedly been chaotic. He allegedly reached out to former producers, legal advisors, and even fans online, trying to spin the narrative in his favor. But the world had moved on. Social media buzzed with celebratory comments about the ex-wives' triumphs, trending hashtags about freedom and empowerment, and memes mocking the patriarch's downfall. Every post, every story, every tweet reinforced the reality. The narrative belonged to the women now. Insiders suggest that this period is shaping up to be a complete reversal of roles. For decades, Kody dictated the family's image, controlling airtime, finances, and public perception. Now, the network is amplifying the voices he tried to silence. Janelle and Christine are building media empires while Kody struggles to maintain relevance. The children, once caught in the middle, are now free to engage with their mothers' lives authentically, without fear of judgment or punishment. Financially, the spin-off is a game-changer. Without Kody and Robyn taking a cut, production budgets can prioritize the women and their ventures. Reports suggest contracts for Janelle and Christine include multi-episode commitments, profit shares, and allowances for entrepreneurial pursuits, giving them independence beyond just screen time. This is not just a career upgrade, it's an entire lifestyle transformation. Back in Flagstaff, the reality hit hard. The foreclosure at Coyote Pass was only the beginning. Sources claim that Kody is now facing mounting bills, legal consultations, and the public perception of failure. Robyn, who once held the title of legal wife as a symbol of security, now faces a house full of assets under threat and a husband in free fall. The contrast between the women's rising power and the patriarch's decline has never been sharper. Fans and insiders alike note that the storytelling in the spin-off is carefully constructed. By showcasing the journey of liberation, the series doesn't just entertain, it educates. It reframes the narrative of polygamy,